Hey, Kentley here. Gonna say hi as we finish The Revenge of the Wizard's Ghost. Only a tiny bit more to go in the story. We're just kind of wrapping up and figuring out where all of the pieces lie as both Professors Coot and Childermass ride on the swan boat with Fergie and Johnny Johnny's grandparents at the back. So let's pick up where the paragraph broke off last time. Fun! Fun? Said Professor Childermass bitterly. If I had the old creep here, I'd show him what fun was. I'd wring his skeletal neck. But in spite of everything, we did solve his insane puzzle, and we got away with the wonderful and exciting prize. By the way, Charlie, are you going to notify the museums and other archaeologists of your find? Are you going to get rich and famous and all that? Professor Coot laughed. Not likely, Roderick, old boy, not likely. You're forgetting how skeptical scholars are. If I take those stick pins to the archaeologists at Harvard and try to tell them that they're looking at the Urim and the Thummim, they'll decide that good old Charlie Coot has finally gotten a bit soft in the head. What proof do we have? None, of course. I could go around trying to work magic with the stick pins, but magical objects are dangerous. They don't always do what people want them to do. So, my friend, we'll have to forget about fame and fortune and making miracles happen. We've got what we want anyway, don't we? He turned to Johnny and patted him on the shoulder. The two professors beamed at Johnny, and he acted embarrassed, as he always did when people fussed over him. Silence fell, and the boat passed under the bridge and began to glide around the odd little stony island where the mallards built their nests in the spring. "What are you guys going to do with those ridiculous stick pins?" asked Fergie at last. "I mean, I'd really like to know." "We'll stick them in you if you keep asking questions like that," grumbled Professor Childermass good-naturedly. "Actually, to be serious, I think we ought to put them on a shelf somewhere and forget about them. Or I could try to get them to do something useful for me, like help me to give up smoking." "It would take a major miracle for that to happen," said Professor Coot, laughing. "You will probably be smoking your last cigarette as they lower you into your coffin." "Are you trying to suggest that I don't have any willpower?" asked Professor Childermass, pointing an accusing finger at his friend. "Well, just you watch." He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a black and gold cardboard box. Opening it, he showed everyone that there was only one cigarette left. Then, with a grand flourish, he flung the cigarette away. It landed on the island, and a squirrel that was crouching nearby scampered up to it, nosed it curiously, and then began to eat it. There was a stunned silence. "That's impossible!" Fergie exclaimed. "Squirrels don't eat cigarettes!" "They eat candy cigarettes," said the professor calmly, reaching into his coat pocket. He took out another cigarette box, opened it, fished out a real cigarette, and lit it while everyone laughed. And that's the end of The Revenge of the Wizard's Ghost, and I hope you guys all checked out the movie for House with a Clock in Its Walls, which was directed by can't think of the director's name right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. But it's based on a book by the same author. And I think I've only read you House with the Clock on Its Walls about Jonathan Barnevelt. So if you want me to read The Figure in the Shadows before the end of the year, I would be very happy to do it. Plans are for more Joan Aiken and some Mary Poppins before Christmas time. And I will keep reading you Philip Roth. Doing Crazy Cat Gasoline Alley is coming up. But thanks for listening, watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.